Testing, testing, testing. Let's pick it up. All right, cool. All right, whenever you're ready. Hey, this is Rico Figliolini, host of Peachtree Corners Life. We're here in the city of Peachtree Corners. This is one of several podcasts that I do, and I'm so fortunate today because we have a special guest and from LA, not specifically for us, but he did come in, and we have an opportunity to speak to him. A mutual friend, Emily Hackett, who we profiled in the last issue of the Peachtree Corners magazine, suggested that we have a talk with Braian. So I appreciate Braian coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Braian. So Braian Jimenez.
Jimenez, yeah.
Jimenez.
Braian Rivera Jimenez.
There you go.
Two last names.
I do that so bad.
A lot, but that's what it is.
And Americo Figliolini people, it's just like, so I'm in the same boat. And Calvin Bernardo here from Norcross High School Players also is joining us because Braian's originally from Norcross High School.
Norcross High School. I went to middle school in Pinckneyville, which is close by, and then went to high school in Norcross. And I did theater all my 4 years of Norcross, which is what I believe you're doing as well.
That's right. I am part of the Norcross High School Players. That's what we call ourselves at the Norcross High School. And we are really excited to do a lot of great stuff, and it's great to be able to talk to someone who knows everything from around the
yeah. Oh my gosh,
it's
great. It's honestly amazing. It's definitely my acting career. Well, obviously I was into acting before Norcross High. I did middle school and elementary school, some acting stuff, but it really got serious for me in high school, and that was freshman year with Gina Peverly, who is the head director of Norcross High. But yeah.
Yeah, you went back to visit on Friday, I think.
I did. I saw her on Friday, and I mean, I try my best every time I come in because she really is like a second mom.
Yeah.
I mean, she not only showed me that I could book leads in like these plays and like be a big, part of the production, even though I guess getting into diversity and with film, the diversity and the leads are always just like Caucasian, and so in Norcross, she gave me the opportunity to like shine and really, do what I can do and execute very well. In 2009,
Switcher just crashed.
Did it shut off?
Yeah, it completely crashed.
All right.
Not sure why.
All right, so start it again.
Okay.
Cool. Hey, this is Rico Figliolini again. Technology, it's going to kill you. We're live here at... This is what I like about this. It's a conversation we're having. So, we're live on Peachtree Corners Life here at Atlanta Tech Park. I didn't say that before, so I might as well put that in. So we've been fortunate. Live is what live is, right? So Facebook Live especially, and Wi-Fi, it just gets you to where you're going. So special guest today, in case you missed the first piece, is Braian Jimenez.
Braian Jimenez.
And I keep doing that, but it's Rico Figliolini and it's Calvin Bernardo, Norcross High School Players. So we were talking a bit about how you went back to visit.
So we were talking about Norcross High. I went to visit Pev, the Gina Beverly Parrish. She is the director of Norcross High. She creates the shows. Is just the head person, and she's the one that really got me super into acting and super involved and casted me as leads. And in 2009, which is where I left off, each year Norcross High does this one-act competition. It's a 5A one-act competition with high schools all over Georgia. And in 2009, we did this play called Lost in Yonkers by Neil Simon, and I played one of the leads, Artie. And we took pretty sure it was a 3-act or 2-act show into this 50-minute play. And fortunately, we won first place, which was done for the first time in Norcross history. And it was me, Ben Presley, Erica Miranda, just to name a few of the actors. And yeah, that day was very, very, very special to me. I mean, winning something like that no one's ever done, it's just like, oh, I can do things like this. And honestly, that energy that I got from that and that memory really, really pushed me to go to California and follow this acting career, because it's crazy. I mean, like, I couldn't go to college after high school because of my status in the States.
Okay.
I was
Right.
at the time illegal,
Right.
My mom had a case called 245I, and that case pretty much says an immigrant that comes here and stays, here illegally has the opportunity to apply for citizenship if they have a government-based job.
Right.
And my mom did, and she was the only one that could really do it because she was bilingual, Spanish and English.
Right.
So our case passed.
And congratulations, because
Thank you. Because last week I took my citizenship test, actually on 9/11, which is a crazy day to do it on.
That is a cool
I
day.
was shaking in my pants, but I did pass. I will become a citizen of the United States after 17 years of like trying to get that situation. But I got my green card, my residency 6 years ago, right? So that's when I was able to move to California and actually like, okay, I don't have to worry about being deported.
Yeah.
So
especially from California.
And funny thing is, one of the big reasons why I moved to California was because I already had a base there. So I knew the Hackett's, and I knew this guy named Chandler Massey. So I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Yeah. He was also in Norcross High, and I did theater with him. Chandler moved to California and did some Disney movies. He is a series regular on Days of Our Lives, won 3 Emmys, amazing actor. And he kind of introduced me to who is my manager now, Scott Silver Mass Entertainment. And he didn't have any Hispanics in his roster, and he's like, "Do you want to be the first one?" And I was like, "Yeah, immediately, please." And the first year was slow. I mean, I was getting auditions, I was getting out there. Second year, I booked my first feature. It was originally called Daraju, director and writer Anthony Ona. That movie was filmed in New York in 2015, 2016-ish. 2015. We filmed in New York, Manhattan. Awesome. Literally a year or two after that, we found out we got into this huge festival called South by Southwest, which is in Austin, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
It did very well. And then from there, it got picked up by Orion Pictures, Samuel Goldwyn.
Nice.
It's a pretty big American film distributor.
Yeah.
Went out in November of 2017, and now it's on Amazon Prime. So that was like my first real big gig that I got. Yeah.
How'd that feel when you opened up Amazon Prime?
See your face.
Yeah. It was surreal because when this preview came out, the trailer came out on iTunes, I didn't even know about it. Some guy that I met, some like agent, and he was a friend of mine, was like, "Hey, did you do a movie recently or something?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, a couple of years back, but I don't know what's going on with it." It's like, "Well, now it's on iTunes." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "This is the name of it." So I looked it up, the price, and then boom, I'm in that trailer, like a lot. And I'm like, "Wait, what? That's me." So it's a very, very surreal feeling.
Yeah.
It's like you want this, all your life, you're just picturing this and vision. And then finally it happens, and it's like, no, that's not real. But it is very real, and it's very exciting. It's a lot of emotion too. I got super emotional when I saw that trailer.
Yeah, we think.
But yeah, other than that, auditioning in California, I went to school at Ruskin Theater, which is a Meisner trained based school in Santa Monica, California. Through there, I met a lot of people, a lot of really, really cool, creative people, which one of them was Destry Allen Spielberg, which is Steven Spielberg's daughter. And at first, I had no idea who she was. I mean, she was just my scene partner. And I would come over to her place, and she had her own apartment with her boyfriend at the time, and we would rehearse, and it was just, we were just rehearsing our scene.
Wow.
And then, one day she was like, "Do you know who I am?" Like, not in a cocky way or anything.
No.
It was just like, it almost felt like she trusted me, and she was just like, "Hey, I actually want to tell you."
Right.
Yeah.
Who I am.
And she told me, and I was just like, "Oh, oh, okay, that's really cool. Like, wow, like I'm sure your life is completely different from mine."
Yeah, that got to be tough. When you're a celebrity, to be able to know if people are liking you because they like you, or because you're a celebrity.
100%. And being friends with her, I've been friends with her now like 3 or 4 years. I kind of see how people act towards her and how different it is, and it's just like, yeah, it really is like you don't know, you really don't know, but I feel like you have a feeling, there's like
You would think, right?
yeah,
Right?
But me and her, it was very organic, and it was very just like actors trying to create, and we're in this scene, and then after we graduated from the Meisner course or whatever, she sent me a text and she's like, "Listen, I'm working on this short film called Rosie. I have you in mind as one of the actors because I know how you work and this and that." And so I was like, "Okay, whatever." A couple months passed by. She's like, "Okay, I'm in LA. We're doing casting," and then her people gets to my managers and it's like, "We not sure if you have to audition for this part. We're still waiting to hear." And it's like, no, they just gave me the part, so I didn't even have to audition for it. It was
nice.
pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that I went to class. I was looking for training. I was very passionate. I was very just there in class and doing the best I could. And that work showed other people that, wow, this guy is actually passionate about what he does. And I feel like that's what helped her, like, okay, I want him to be in this short. Like, I know how he works. Like, I know how dedicated he is. And on top of that, like, meeting Destra, I also met this guy named Rocco Bellic, who is, he works on documentaries. He has this very popular documentary called Happy on Netflix. And he happens to be really good friends with Christopher Nolan. And I had the amazing opportunity to be invited to the Dunkirk premiere, the family premiere.
Wow. What was that like?
Yeah.
It was unreal. I mean, like, they didn't tell us the name of the movie. They were just like, "There's a premiere.
Right.
Here's the address." And I'm like, "Warner Brothers, okay." So I go inside. Just a small crowd of people. I mean, it's nothing big. There's not a big press or whatever. We go in the theater, lights go down, we watch it, and it's Dunkirk. I know what it was at the time because the name's not even out yet. I mean, this is like one of the first previews. The movie's over, amazing movie, obviously. And then I go out, and Rocco, his partner, introduces me to Christopher Nolan.
Oh,
And I'm just like, oh my God, this is and we talked a little bit, and again, just that surreal sense of like, this is real life right now, right? You see these people on screen and interviews, and you hope to work with them one day, and then
how does that feel? I mean,
right there.
Yeah.
I almost want to keep saying, how does that feel?
Yeah.
But really, I mean, what do you say? How do you?
Honestly, I tell people, and it's confusing to people, but it almost felt right. It almost felt like the timing and like everything that was happening it was meant to happen in this course. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know it's like it feels right within me. And I'm like, oh,
It's funny. It feels like you're on a path.
Yeah,
you got people around you like Massey and Hackett and others that have introduced you along the way to other people that that path keeps opening up for you.
Yeah. And I'm very fortunate.
And in this business, you don't know if it's going to come back a month later or a year later.
No, you don't. You honestly, you're yourself unapologetically yourself, and you do your work. I mean, you train, and you're passionate of what you do, and the doors will open. I mean, if you're meant to do something, you're meant to do something, right?
So what can you tell Calvin? Calvin, what would you want to know?
Well, this is the kind of stuff that not just actors, but people in the film industry and the show industry just kind of dream of. Mm-hmm. Just getting to meet people like that. What do you think, starting at Norcross High School, and what do you think leaving from there all the way to where you're at now, doing really professional film acting business. What do you think were the steps that you got to get there? What were some things that helped?
So definitely keeping your connections in your town. But to get in, you kind of have to get out.
Mm-hmm.
So making the move out of, at least for my journey, for me, making the move out of Atlanta was definitely the best thing I could do for my career right now. Because I didn't have many people to like, hey, I'm an actor, I need an agent. Like, I didn't have those connections here. Fortunately, I did in California, and it was just something different. I needed, at the time, I was not going through the best times, you know what I mean? I just got my residency card, so I felt like there's, you know, it was looking up, but I didn't want to just stay in Atlanta and work at a restaurant and then try to get an agent out here. Like, I just didn't know how to approach it. In California, I knew that there was something there that even if it didn't help me, I knew I tried, you know? So it's taking that step and taking that risk that really, really is, I tell any young actor, if you feel like you need to be somewhere or you need to like talk to someone, you just got to do it. You have to take the risk. You can't think, oh, what if they don't like me? What if I don't make it? What if like money? Like, no. If it's going to be for you, it's going to be for you. So taking that risk is very important for sure.
So it's like being all in. Very much.
All in. I mean, in this industry, you can't just be like, I kind of want to be an actor. It's like,
doesn't work.
No, to me, that's the only thing really that fulfills me. And that's the only thing that I felt like I could really do in this life is be an actor. I mean, honest, it sounds really weird, but like, I just like, oh, maybe I could be a professor. It's like, no, I don't want to do this. Maybe I can, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. So definitely.
Yeah, they say that if you have a backup in addition to acting, they say do that instead.
But if there's no backup and that's your passion, man, absolutely. So.
And certainly all this opportunity has been very fortunate. But certainly things like the education you got, things like did you take things like acting lessons?
So the only acting experience that I had really when I went to California and started doing these auditions was Norcross High School.
Really?
Yes, that is the only background. I mean, like I said, after high school, I couldn't get into college. I wanted to go to acting schools or whatever, but I couldn't get financial aid. I didn't have Social Security. I didn't have all this stuff that you need to, go into a university. Sure. So the training literally that I had was Norcross drama. And then I went into a conservatory. It's a 2-year Meisner conservatory, and that kind of paved it, made it more concrete, my method when it comes to acting. But Pev was really good at like listening and reacting, which is very Meisner. Like once I started doing classes, the Meisner work, I'm like, wow, Pev was on something. I'm like, okay, this is not only a Norcross drama high school teacher, she was really passionate in acting. She's really passionate being a director. So I learned so much from drama, from Norcross.
Yeah, and Pev, she not only teaches you about acting, but she also teaches you about just life lessons about things like work ethic. You can't just rely on chance and waiting for things to come to you.
Absolutely.
She really emphasizes that you really have to work hard for that, and that's really great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was for Lost in Yonkers, because we know what the plays are going to be before, obviously, the season. Like, there's on Banquet, she tells you what the future shows are. So once we found out, at least me, knowing how she is with her work ethic, I got to the script. I memorized the lines that summer. I rehearsed with the people that I thought were going to get casted as these parts. And it so happened that we literally casted the show ourselves that summer because we all got the parts we wanted. And why? Is because we put so much work into it. Yeah. So putting in the work 100% and just being passionate about it for sure.
It's a lifestyle too, isn't it? I mean, when you're with people together like that, even on a movie set, I mean, it got to be...
Especially in movie sets. Movie sets, the difference about movies and theater is you have this rehearsal time, so you have all this time to kind of get this chemistry with the actors and kind of get to know them outside and inside of the work.
Right.
On movie sets, you go and you better be ready. You better be ready with your character. You better wear them literally on your shoulder.
Right.
Obviously, if your character is a little out there, you should be respectful of the directors and the producers there and still communicate, but concentrate on what you're going to perform in front of the camera. Because once you go, I mean, the others actors are ready. I mean, you either look good or you look bad. Right?
You can't hold everyone up. You can't take 12 takes and stuff like that.
People that don't understand in going into acting, they think, oh, it's just lines and it's a part, and it's like, no, you have to really do the relationship work. You really have to memorize those lines so hard that you can just kind of say it in a monologue. You know what I mean?
Right.
Without even thinking about it.
Because you can't think that you're saying these words. That can't be on your face.
Like subconsciously.
Right. Yeah. Because this way, that feeling is really what you're looking at, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. That's cool to be able to do that. It does take work and talent. That's for sure.
And honestly, experience. I mean, the first, The Price, the one that's on Amazon, that was my first set, really real experience. And these actors, I mean, who I'm acting with, Amel Amin, he was in Maze Runner. He's a big movie guy. He's from England, and oh my gosh, I was literally shaking when I got to set with him. But he made me feel really comfortable. We had normal conversation. We talked about the scene and what's going on. But we literally had maybe 15 minutes before we actually started shooting. Yeah. And I mean, once you do it, it's the training comes out just so naturally, and it's just like, oh, I'm in my element, and it's just like then you get loose and you get really in your character, and it's just like movie magic.
So when you did theater in Norcross, I mean, theater is one, you go right through and that's it, right? I mean, it's one long play for an hour or so. But movies, you're coming into a scene that might be the last scene that you're shooting first. I mean, you're walking into a scene that you have to really be able to understand that emotion that's going on. I mean, the first time you did that, how'd that work? I mean, how were you able to get to that place?
So, the way I approach these kind of things, because I've had to film a very emotional scene first, right? And then kind of go to the, I don't want to say scenes. And in my opinion, as my work as an actor, I kind of connect memories and situations that I've been in the past. So that's why I think experience of life is very important to be, an actor. So once I could connect to something that just pulls my heartstrings, some emotional thing, I can just get into it and then get out. So there are tools in an actor's head that they use from the past, from what maybe a movie they've seen, just something that really connects to them, and that's how you can turn it on and off, no matter if it's the ending of the movie or the beginning of the movie or the middle. It's your job to get to that place.
It's almost like writers, novelists they say you should write from what you know, and that doesn't mean if you're writing fantasy or sci-fi, about that future world. It's more about that character and how that character is
relating it to things.
Correct.
About
and
yourself.
And every movie has a storyline. There's either a love story, there's a hate story. There's always love and hate. That's the core Friction. Of every story. So if you could connect to that, it doesn't matter if you're in the middle or the beginning or in the end. There's a connection there, and you can just release and do your work.
That's cool. So
I want to go back to this working with working with Miss Spielberg. Did you get to meet Steven Spielberg?
I did.
And what was that like?
It was okay. So it was amazing. So we had a rehearsal. We had a Rosie rehearsal. We kind of went to her place, and because we're a group of friends, and this is kind of our project in a way. Well, it's their project. The writer Echo Pereski and director Steven Speilberg. It's their project, their baby. But we are able to kind of rehearse on our own because we don't have to be on a lot or whatever. So we were able to rehearse, and then one of the rehearsals, she was like, "Hey, my family's gonna watch a screening of Booksmart. Came out, I think last summer or this past summer." And me and the other actor Steven were like, "Yeah, we'll come. Whatever." No idea it was still at their place. So we go to their other part of the house, and we go to their theater. Their movie theater, and there in that movie theater, you just see all of Steven Spielberg's Oscars and stuff like that, and it was wow, these are some of my favorite movies, and like this, he's just Steven Spielberg. It's like, how can you not just be so excited and like full of emotion? But yeah, then his mom and dad come, her mom and dad come downstairs, Mr. and Mrs. Spielberg, and introduce them to us or whatever. They introduce themselves to us, and Steven was very just like super like host, like a gentleman. Like I didn't even feel like he was Steven Spielberg. It just felt like my friend's dad who is welcoming us to their home, and we're watching a movie together. He let me eat some of his chips. Like, we talked a little bit about the film, so it was very how do I say? It was just very like with your friends. It was very. It wasn't like a celebrity. It was just very normal. It felt very normal. Yeah, but an amazing experience. Especially just like, hey, that's Steven Spielberg. I'm watching this movie. Yeah.
Do you get to just brag about your friends? Just like, hey, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, no big deal. I met Steven Spielberg.
No, I mean, I'm very not much like that. I don't like to like. This is actually one of the first times I ever really talked about the people I met, the people I worked with. I don't like the attention. I really don't. But when it comes to your hometown and when you want people around you to be proud of you, you want to talk about your projects. And this short film, Rosie, it's going to be going to the festivals this winter, this fall. South by Southwest, Tribeca, Sundance, and all those. So it's good that I'm able to talk to my town, to my roots about it.
Are you going to get an opportunity to maybe go to South by Southwest? Or?
Oh, yeah. If we do get in these festivals, I will 100% fly myself out to these festivals. Yeah,
I would think, right? Because what an opportunity to be able to, even a short. It's still, Spielberg's daughter, too.
The goal for this short film is to become a feature in the future,
okay.
So we'll see what happens with that. But it's very cool. And actually next week, I'm meeting with Destry to kind of do more of the coloring for the film. So I'm very lucky to just kind of even see the background work, right? So like the editing, the sound, because I'm friends with her, so she's like, yeah, come along. And I'm like, thank you, that's awesome. So I've learned a lot through this experience, and there's just executive decisions that producers, directors have to do that actors have no power over. But it's just good to see and understand, like, oh, this is how much it goes into the film in the background. I'm not just like acting and that's it. It's like, no, it's a lot that goes with it. So yeah, and I'm super proud of Echo and Destry for this short film is hopefully going to be making a splash. Yeah.
So are you, besides acting, I mean, you're young, you're a good-looking guy, you're going to be in these movies and stuff. But do you want to do the behind-the-scenes stuff too? Do you want to do any of the? Does that interest you at all?
Oh yeah, in a later time, maybe. Well, I'm not going to put an age to it, but later on, I definitely want to concentrate on acting. I want to be a director. Yeah, I want to make my own stories, my own projects. I feel like I've gone through some experiences that not all people my age or people like me in the United States go through. So it's very important to me in the future to kind of have my own projects and do the casting. And, yeah.
You know what I was just thinking too? Are you? I'm assuming you're fluent in
Espanol. Sí.
In Espanol, right? Sí. Have you done any Telemundo? Have you thought about that?
I have. It's just how to get in with Telemundo. My managers and stuff like that aren't really connected to that sector of the film industry, but 100%, I would love to do any Telemundo, Caracol, which is like from Colombia, anything like that for sure. I did a commercial where I had to speak in Spanish and that came out. But nothing officially like, no movies or TV shows in Spanish, no. 13 Reasons Why, which is a show that recently came out last week, season 3. I play one of the lead's character, Tony Padilla. I play Fernando Padilla, which is one of the brothers that gets deported in the film. which is also crazy because it connects to my life.
Yes, how crazy is
Because I
that?
just, passed my citizenship test, and then over here I have this huge show, where I'm deported. So it's
Do you come back?
Um,
They're gonna leave you out.
that's the
That's a
cliffhanger.
spoiler.
We're crossing fingers. But hopefully, we come back. That'd be awesome.
Please let me back. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah.
There's other things. I think a lot of people don't. I listen to a lot of audible books too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of acting that's out there, not just in front of the camera, also voiceovers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into animes a lot because my kids and stuff, they drag me into it. Now I'm like an anime nut. There's a lot of voiceover acting for that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think about any of that also? Is it all
I definitely
movies,
do,
TV?
and I've definitely gone to auditions for it.
Okay.
But I think if I want to dedicate more time to it, I need to get trained more with my voice.
Yeah.
So that's another later on kind of project in mind for sure. But I mean, I know some people in LA who have you ever seen Avatar?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so one of
the Airbender.
The Airbender. So one of the bad guys who is in the Fire Nation, Dante. Right now, I'm missing his last name. He's a huge voiceover actor, and just I've seen some of his videos and how he works, and it's a lot of acting still in it. Yeah. Maybe not the camera's not in your face, but you're still you're there, and it's most of your voice. But he's definitely motivated me to get more into that world for sure.
Yeah. Well, you have to act it, right? I mean,
yeah.
I've interviewed a couple of voice actors, and it's amazing how many shows they will do actually in a given year.
It's insane.
So, they could do 20
but
or
it's
30.
cool that you could go anywhere and kind of record it.
You got a microphone, a sound studio. You could do it here.
You can do that in Atlanta, in LA, New York, anywhere. So that's definitely something I would like to get into. Yeah.
Are there anything else on the horizon that you're looking at that you'd like to be in? That
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I would like to be in, but right now there are a lot of auditions. Right now, I can't really say. I literally signed NDAs for these auditions that, because of what the projects that I did this past year and 2 years, I'm getting more opportunity for bigger roles.
Excellent.
Which is nice.
Okay.
So I literally yesterday got an audition for something pretty big. Can't say what it is, because it's an NDA and it's kind of down, but it's something I need to follow. Yeah. But I'm definitely
all these things being shot in. Well, you wouldn't even know probably. I mean, sometimes they could be shot outside California and other places.
I don't know the location. I do know it's for Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Netflix is big.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
And now Apple wants to do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Isn't that amazing? Apple wants to do their own
Watch. There's
there's
a whole bunch of stuff.
Man, you have a camera, you could shoot. There you go. You could put a few $1 million, billions towards it. So, do you have any other questions you want to ask Braian too?
I would say definitely something I'm curious about is what would you say was your biggest influence on your acting career? The thing that really kept you going. I'm sure that you had your ups and I'm sure you had your downs. Maybe you might have been discouraged. What was something that really kept you going, saying this is I want to really keep doing this?
So going back, 100%, what made my decision, what kept me going, was Norcross High School drama. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I didn't go to college afterwards. All I had was that. So the memories of the plays that you do, the relationships that you build with these actors on stage, the amount of time you put in Norcross drama is insane. I mean, the lockdown, all those hours in the weekend. So a staple was definitely winning state 2009 and getting an award for an ensemble cast, an all-star ensemble. I was just this is what I want to do with my life. The energy, the response that you get from the crowd, it's just it's a high that you can't beat. So yeah, definitely Norcross High School was what kept me going.
Excellent, fantastic.
Well, we're talking to Braian here, actor, LA, former Norcross High School student. This has been a really good conversation. I appreciate.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank
Hopefully
you.
we will have another conversation.
Definitely when Destry comes out, and maybe some of these other things. Maybe you can join
bring
us
them
back. Yeah, that would be lovely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you being with us. Cool. That was good.
Wow, that was cool.
And I wasn't going to try your name again. Sorry. I was like, let me stop.